What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Whew, this is tough. I haven't done this in a minute. It's been a minute since I made a new video, but today I'm gonna attempt to make a drawer system with the sleeping platform on this thirsty little thing right here. So what I'm gonna be working with is 1/2 inch laminated plywood. I got this from one of my buddies at Battle Arrow. Shout outs to Battle Arrow for their scrap wood. They actually have this laminated plywood right here. One side is textured, I don't know if you can see it, and the other side is smooth. There are some drawbacks from using a laminated plywood, but we're gonna make it work. And by the way, full disclaimer, I am not a professional in woodwork or have any experience, so we're gonna figure it out. All right, so if you guys are interested in the measurements, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a digital display of the measurements and all the cuts and everything, but that's gonna be an interesting video. But let's go ahead and go on with the cutting. So I don't really have a lot of tools. All I'm gonna be using is a circular saw with this Home Depot Craig circular saw track. We're gonna figure it out. This is my first time using it, so this is gonna be interesting. So what I'm gonna be cutting on is a pallet that I got. Also, you're gonna need some clamps. So I got some pretty good clamps at Harbor Freight. And don't forget, safety. All right, we're ready. Alrighty, just finished my first cut, and woo! Boy, does that look good. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Oh yes, that looks so good. So I'm using a 60 tooth circular saw blade right here. It's for a finer cut. So I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Yeah, make sure you clamp both sides down so the wood that you're cutting is not gonna move. But so far so good. If you're gonna plan to use this Craig AccuCut track saw, make sure this end is fully flush with the tracks. Otherwise, you're going to be cutting like diagonally. So I do want to share some helpful tips if you plan on using this AccuCut saw track. First, you want to make sure is your saw track is dialed. So to do that, you have to make a sacrificial cut on the edge of the saw track. And all you got to do is butt up the saw blade against the saw track, the side of the saw track, and go ahead and make a pass to make that sacrificial cut so you know where your blade is going to cut every time. Another thing is you want to measure the lines to make sure you know exactly where to cut to get that perfect measurement. And lastly, this is a huge tip that I wish I knew. So you want to make sure the saw tracks are fully aligned. So what I usually do is I line the backside first with the butt, and then I go to the end and I slightly adjust it to make sure it cuts where I need to cut so I can get a straight line. I didn't do this before because I'm an idiot, but I was off about like 1/32 to 1/16 of an inch off, so it wasn't really a straight cut, so I had to redo it. Alrighty, so now we made it to this part. Now we're gonna start assembling the outer shell. So what I'm gonna be using is mainly some wood screws right there, along with epoxy. I'm gonna have to use epoxy on this because the wood that I got is laminated with this plastic, so I can't use wood glue. So we're gonna make do with what we got. And also we're gonna be using a brad nailer. Don't have to use a brad nail gun, you can actually just use wood screws, but since I have it here, it might make it a little bit faster. I also got these countersink drill bits, so the wood screws will sit flush, as you can see right here. But yeah, let's get started. Woo, I think it's ready to start assembling now. So I got this little setup right here. I put a piece under because this table is not fully leveled, so I put another piece of wood on the bottom and I clamped them together, and hopefully I don't mess up. Kind of nervous, but let's get it. So the game plan is I'm gonna apply epoxy here, and I'm gonna shoot a couple brad nails in there just to hold it in. And then I'm gonna drill pilot holes and then put in wood screws. All right, let's get it. right, so this is what I have done so far. I think we're done. Make sure you like and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. God damn it. This thing's been taking a lot of time. I actually made a lot of last minute changes, and that kind of messed me up because I forgot to trim this piece right here. At first I had the side piece on top of this, but I realized it would be easier to mount if I had this on the side, so I can just screw on the side rather than do it from the bottom. Also, I think it makes it stronger because this will be butted up against the side of the plastic panels in the back of the GX, but it's okay. This is the back side, so I mean, it's not really a big deal. The next thing now is I'm trying to figure out how to mount the middle panel right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a measurement and then draw a line right in the middle, front and back side. So I have an idea where the middle panel should be. Alright, so I thought of an idea how to perfectly install these little brackets on. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a scrap piece of wood, and I'm pretty much gonna install it onto this and then just unbolt the bottom, and then bada bing bada boom, we're done. Woo! You love it when a good plan comes together. Woo-wee! Alright, so I did this off camera, so I went ahead and I installed these corner brackets right here on both sides on a scrap piece, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and just unbolt these off the scrap piece and now take them to the outer shell of the drawer and put them on. I figured this would be the easiest way for me to do it by myself since I don't have another person helping me out. Alright, so before I install that centerpiece, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line on the back side or the bottom side of the shell, so I have an idea where to insert the nails and screws when I have the center section in. So go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so it is the next day now, and I finished putting on all the side pieces on, and what I use is pretty much I use brad nails, wood screws, and I also use these corner brackets. I felt like I really needed it in the middle since I only have 1/2 inch plywood. I should have done 2 pieces in the middle because it'll give it better support on top when I have the top piece on. But what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna get a long angle iron or angle bracket, and I'm gonna put it on both sides just to give this middle a little bit extra support. But so far it's pretty solid. As you can see, I did mess up a lot. I mean, it doesn't look the prettiest, but it does build character, so I mean, it is what it is. We're just gonna suck it up and move on with it, because this project is honestly taking a long time, especially this is my first time. Learned a lot on the way, and I did a lot of last minute changes that messed me up, but we got through it. I just finished cutting the drawer sides, or the drawer pieces, so we're gonna go ahead and start mounting them on right now. Alright, so it is the next day. It got a little dark, so I actually stopped working on the drawer slides. But I'm actually gonna hold off on it for now, because I think it's better that I start working on drilling out the holes for the mounting position. So the way I'm gonna be mounting the drawer slides is I'm gonna drill holes on the bottom of the shell, and I'm gonna use the existing holes from these cargo hooks. So if you take them out, there's a threaded hole right here. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and measure what bolt I need. So I'm gonna grab a little scrap piece of wood, and I'm just gonna go ahead and measure that. So it's about, I would say, 1 3/8. So I'm gonna also need to measure the bolt from the cargo hooks, and I did measure it out to a little bit less than 3/8, and after doing all the calculations I got 1.81 inches. So I'm gonna have to figure out what bolts I can get. So I already went to the hardware store and got some bolts. They are M6 by 1 by 45 millimeters. I don't know if this will focus. Boom. So I'm gonna go ahead and just thread these in, and then I'm gonna start measuring center to center, and then find the position of the holes. So first things first is I'm gonna go ahead and measure center to center, center to center, and then that'll give me pretty much the box of where the holes should be at. And then after that, I'm gonna measure that into the center of the bolt, and then that should give me the measurements of where the holes should be. So we'll go ahead and start doing that. So first things first, we can go ahead and measure the center from here to here. So the bottom from here to that should be about 35 inches and 10/16 of an inch. Now I'm gonna go ahead and measure the top side now. So from here to here. So from top to bottom, it's exactly 26 inches. Now we're gonna go ahead and confirm that the top side to side is the same. All right, so it looks like from here to here is 35 and 10/16 of an inch. Next step is we're gonna go ahead and measure from here to center. So the measurement from here to the center of the hole is 3 3/16 of an inch. I think that's all the information that I need to get the holes. So let's go ahead and use that measurement and find where I need to drill on the drawer system. All right, so it's another day after all the holidays. I finally got some time to finally work on this. So now I'm gonna go ahead and make the first mark. And I'm actually double checking my work because I already made a mark right here, but it looks like I was a little bit off. But I did make a measurement from the end of the bottom of the shell to the center hole is exactly 4 inches. And then from the side is 3 inches and 3/16 of an inch. I'm gonna get 2 rulers and I'm pretty much gonna intersect it and then find the middle point. Go ahead and mark that, and then we can double check our work on the other side and then get the other 3 on and start drilling. 4 inches right here, and then 3 inches and 3/16 go across. So it's gonna be exactly right here. Looking good. All right, so 4 inches up from the bottom and 3 3/16 of an inch on the side. Alrighty. So now we're gonna do the same. We're gonna go from here, center to this, and go all the way across, and then get our second line. Now from here, it should be 35 and 10/16 of an inch. So, alrighty. So just gotta measure up to 4 inches. Should be right here. I'm gonna double check everything. Okay, that's 4. Yeah, we look good, actually. So from the other side, it's gonna be 2 and 11/16 of an inch. To find the other holes on this side, I'm gonna go up 26 inch to top and 2 and 11/16 of an inch from the side. So I got my second marking. Do another measurement just to confirm. I think we are looking good. Yep, that's on the dot. Alrighty, so I got 3 of them marked. Now we're gonna do the last one. The same thing goes for this side. So 26 inches up, 3 3/16 of an inch from the side. That looks pretty cool. Looks like it's on the dot on this side too. I think we're ready to full send. Yep, just gonna full send it. Worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna slot it, but let's see if my measurements are correct. Alright, so I finished drilling the holes. Ooh! So on this side, I actually used a smaller drill bit, and it actually helped me get a little bit more accurate cut. I think I messed up on one of them, but we're gonna find out right now. So we're gonna test it out and see if it goes in. Wish me luck. Ooh, I'm kind of nervous actually. I don't even want to do this, but the show must go on. Alright, wish me luck. First one went in. Okay, second one went in. It's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Oh, third one went in. All right, so I got 3 out of 4. Not so bad. I only had to open it up one just a little bit, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with how it is. Now that we got those holes done, now it's time to finish the rest of the drawer slides. I already got one in, so pretty solid. All right, I think we're on to the next one, but yeah, I got 4 of them mounted and it lined up pretty much perfect with this edge right here, which is what I wanted. I butted this side up with this side. I don't know if you can see. Let me turn up the ISO a little bit. Yeah, boom. Look at that. So we're gonna be working with these Aeoli Shang locking drawer sliders. They're off Amazon if you guys are interested. Links in the description below. Pretty much you just pull the lever down and it pulls out. Boom. Since I'm gonna be working with 1/2-inch plywood, one of the things I was worried about is holding strength. So what I'm decided to do is to mount the drawer slides, I'm gonna be using these barrel and bolts right here. So the first step to installing these is I gotta pretty much drill these holes out a little bit bigger, since as you can see it doesn't fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out the step drill and go ahead and bore it out. And if you guys are interested in what size I need to bore out to, is I need to go up to 5/16 of an inch. So 5 holes on the side panels, I need to drill out 5/16 of an inch as well. So yeah, we're gonna get to it and let's start putting this thing together. I mean, to be honest with you, it's coming along pretty nicely. I was actually worried. I actually messed up so many times, and let me tell you, the cutting part is, whew, it's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time cutting and breathing all that sawdust, but I think it'll be worth it at the end of the day once I get it all together. But so far so good. I feel like it's pretty solid. And by the way, if you guys are planning to do locking drawer slides or heavy duty drawer slides, be sure to leave at least 3/4 of an inch of clearance on both sides in order to fit the drawer slides. You can see, look, boom, it's like a pretty much a perfect fit. I think I got it exactly at 3/4 of an inch. Woo! Boy, those look good. Holy crap, I'm excited. First things first, we're gonna go ahead and pull these out. So pull the lever down and just pull out. Boom. Make sure your pull-out game is strong. We're gonna go ahead and pull the whole thing out. So we're gonna leave this aside. We're gonna start off with this piece right here. Boom. All right, so for the 2 middle ones, I'm pretty much gonna sandwich them, and I drilled 8 holes pretty much. So I'm gonna have 4 of them going one way and then 4 of them going the other way. And then hopefully it'll be strong enough to hold both of them on this middle section. So I already got this side out. I'm gonna go ahead and unpack the other side. Whew, these things are pretty heavy. I didn't expect them to be that heavy, but they are heavy duty drawer slides. So. Boom. That's like butter. All right, we are good to go. Now we can go ahead and start installing the drawer slides. Alrighty, so we got 4 on this side. So we're gonna go ahead and just put these in first. Pretty much I'm installing the barrels in. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. I'm gonna start putting them through the holes. Start putting the bolts in. All right, so I came to a little hiccup. I guess I don't know what the heck happened, but this side is off. So what I should have done is I should have just drilled through this hole instead of marked, because I am so off. I think I was drunk or something, but it's not really a big issue. But this side is everything else is perfect except for this. I don't know what the heck happened, but if you guys are doing this, I would just put the drawer slides on and just drill through it and use that as a stencil, just so you can get like a very accurate drill. I'm gonna go ahead and just re-drill that and then finish this. Woo! Alrighty, so I'm gonna grab my 2 pieces of plywood. I'm gonna need to clamp them now. I think I only should clamp one side. I'll line this up. Alright, get my 5/16 drill bit out. And then I'm gonna hold it really tight and pray for the best. We're gonna full send. Alright, so I finished installing everything. Yes, there's a little bit of blowout, but not too bad. Woo! I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Solid. Everything's just solid. Alright, it's getting a little dark, so I'm gonna come back tomorrow morning and then we're gonna go ahead and finish the rest. Alrighty, so I got the drawer sliders onto the shell. Now it's time to mount the drawers onto the rest of the drawer slides. Alright, so to start off with the inner drawer slides, I'm gonna have to pull it out. I'm gonna use 2 pieces of scrap wood as a shim, and I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna bring out the drawer slides, and I'm gonna give it about 1/2 inch from this end to the end of the plywood, because as you can see, there is a little bit of space right there, and I measured it to 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna make sure it's 1/2 inch and then clamp it down and then start drilling holes. Alrighty. Alrighty, so first barrel going in. Boom. Oh, actually, if I lift it up, I have to push the lever up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see it. And boom, lift this up. Okay, so if you force it in, it'll go through. I actually sat like pretty much right on top. Alrighty, so I got the first 4 on, but I ran into a little issue. I can't find the rest of the holes because of... So if you can see, I don't have any ways to access the hole. So what I think I'm gonna do is, since I already got these 2 on, I think it's safe enough for me to just take the whole thing out and just install the rest of the sliders in. Alright, so this is the next day. I ran into a little bit of issue installing the drawer slides. I was trying to put the drawer in, and I guess since I don't have any support on the top, as I was putting in, the top of these panels started to cave inwards and made it tighter and tighter. It made it harder to put the sliders in. I guess the next step is to pretty much start putting on the back cover and the top cover. Some epoxy. I gotta mix this up. Alright, now time for the fun part, putting the top pieces on. Now I have to use clamps to make sure that everything is centered, because I'm pretty sure this piece is not fully flat, so that it wants to cave this way. So the game plan is epoxy all around, and then try to do a nice clean epoxy on half of it, and then get this on, nail gun, and then work on the other side. Mix, mix, mix. So while this is curing, I'm gonna go ahead and install some little corner brackets on the inner side so it can give it a little bit more support. Alright, so it is the next day. I already put the drawer in the back. Woo! Boy, does that look good. It's pretty damn sturdy too. I mean, sit on it. Pretty dang solid. But the reason why I put it in here because I ran out of space inside, and I actually took the drawers out because I need to actually finish it because without the front cover, the side starts to buckle outwards and it makes it a little bit harder to push the sliders in. We're gonna be finishing up the drawers today, and I already went ahead and cut some pieces out. Alright, so when you're doing this, you want to make sure you get it pushed all the way down and both sides are flush. And then if you're using the brad nail gun, make sure your hands is not in the way so you don't get injured, because it could be pretty dangerous. Now it's time to do the bottom, and then I think I'm pretty good. Boom. So I got one brad nail here, one right here, one on the bottom, and then one in the middle. I'm going to finish the rest up with wood screws, so I'm going to start brad nailing the other one. And I'll be right back. Alright, I don't know where I left off, but it is New Year's, so Happy New Year's to you. I already went ahead and finished up the drawer slides, and I went ahead and bolted down the box. So as you can see, it's very sturdy. So there's 4 of them, one right here, one over there, and then the other 2 on the other side. But a little tip when you're installing these sliders right here, you want to make sure you clamp them down, because I didn't do it on the first one and I had to pretty much redo this one. As you can see, I got some extra holes. We'll call them air pockets for rate reduction or whatever. I didn't really take my time on the first one and I kind of messed it up and it came out a little crooked, so I had to adjust this one a little bit, but now it's perfect. So by the way, when you're putting in if you're using drawer slides, you want to make sure you align this slide with this track right here, because this thing moves, so you want to make sure it's in. Otherwise, if you don't get it in, it's going to get caught on the edge and then it's going to bend the tip of this track and then it might break it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in and let's see what it looks like. So the problem that I have earlier, so you can see me struggle, I had to use my clamps to close these up a little bit so the middle tracks can pretty much sit on top of this slider right here. That's why it was kind of rough the first time, but once you get it in, I mean, it's pretty solid. Woo! I'm so happy with it. Oh, this took a while to build since I didn't really have a lot of sunlight, but oh my god. Oh my god, I feel like I've done a lot, but we are not done yet. We are almost there. Almost there though. But I still got to make the dividers right here. Front covers, probably gonna go along this edge right here. Also got to make the side flap, and last but not least, the sleeping platform. But I think I'm gonna do it in part 2. I'm gonna end the video off here. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in part 2. Peace and Happy New Year's.